who actually does convoy security in a combat zone? Is that a specific MOS? Well, that's actually related to a question that one of you actually asked. So regarding 88 Mike, are the mics responsible for convoy security, or is that another MOS job to give us security? So there isn't a dedicated MOS, all right? There's a lot of MOSs that usually will do this. So for example, in a combat zone, right? I've been on 2 combat deployments and it was different each time because my first deployment, we had these dedicated individuals that basically became convoy security as their permanent job during this deployment to Iraq. And they were a mixture of MOSs. They were a mixture of chemical individuals. There was some fuelers in there. There was some 88 mics in there. There was some all sorts of MOSs. They just essentially needed some individuals to kind of fill this role. And for that deployment, they actually used this Fox vehicle. It's like a chemical vehicle. They were kind of like our designated like convoy security vehicles. And so the individuals kind of got trained up a little bit, and they were kind of dedicated to where if we had log packs, we had convoys going out, then we would, coordinate with them and they would task out, a few of the trucks to enough that needed for the convoy, right? But task out those trucks to be convoy security for our missions. My second deployment, a little bit different. In our second deployment, we had the MRAP vehicles, and we had individuals in our specific platoon that were tasked to be convoy security. And that's how a lot of the other platoons within my troop, because I was in the Cav, did kind of that deployment. So in our specific platoon, we had our own MRAPs. We had like 4 or 5 MRAPs, and there was a combination of fuelers and 88 mics. So it was kind of internal. And then they had a maintenance platoon, and the maintenance platoon had their own maintenance individuals. And then they had some other platoons that had their own individuals. So it definitely was a variation of different MOSs. So short answer, it's not really like a set MOS. It's typically just who they have available to be trained up, who's trained up to be able to do convoy security, to work the crew served weapon, which is the weapon up in the turret, and all sorts of other things. So it's typically a mixture of MOSs based on availability within that company, that troop, those platoons that will usually be the ones providing that convoy security for the missions. For my veterans that were deployed to a combat zone, who was the individuals doing your convoy security when you would go outside the wire and out on missions? And then for anyone else, if you have some questions related to maybe a combat zone, maybe let me know down in the comment section down below and I'll try to answer the ones I can. And some of my viewers that are knowledgeable on the field that you're asking your question in, maybe they can help me out and answer some questions as well. So leave me some comments down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. I'm Christopher Chaos. I'll see you next time. See ya.